Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's session of Around the Block Industry Talk with Mr. Ravikant Agrawal. My name is Supriya Biswas, and I am delighted to be your host for this exciting discussion on the latest trends and insight in the blockchain industry. Around the Block aims to create a dynamic platform where founders, representatives, and influential personalities from the blockchain space share their expertise and foster valuable connection. Introducing Mr. Ravikant Agrawal, Director of Growth at Polygon Labs. With extensive hands-on experience in Web3 and blockchain technologies, Ravikant excels in Web3 mobile strategy, digital asset tokenization, and digital identity. He has a successful background in strategy and management consulting, guiding global clients in leveraging decentralized technologies. Ravikant co-founded a startup focused on blockchain-based digital identity, showcasing his blend of product innovation and business acumen. His passion for continuous learning and thought leadership drives him to mentor aspiring professionals, helping them excel in the digital landscape. So, without further ado, let's dive into our discussion. Please welcome Mr. Ravikant Agrawal. Hi, sir. Hello.
Hi, Supriya. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Sir, to kickstart, could you please provide us an overview of Polygon ID and its mission?
Certainly. So, Polygon ID provides a privacy-focused set of tools to put users in control of their identity. Every one of us are growing in our digital life, and this is where identity becomes very important across all of our digital surfaces. So if I need to give a very simple way of imagining how digital identity and basically Polygon ID would work, is something that we do in a real life as well, which is in a question and answer format, right? So consider that an application needs to verify that I'm a Pudgy Penguin NFT holder. Or let's say in a simple term, if they need to verify that I'm about 18 years of age. And
Hmm.
this is where a question would be asked by an application, which we call as a verifier, and my wallet would hold which holds my credential would be able to answer them in the form of a zero knowledge proof, right? So if a verifier is asking me above 18, my wallet respond with a kind of a zero knowledge proof that ensures that yes, either I'm above 18 or below 18. And that is a kind of a question and answer dialogue that happens between the verifier and my wallet in order to get several services that I wish to avail. So the simple mission that we are working is to make identity better and simple.
Great to know that. And what inspired you to transition from a strategy and management consulting to become a blockchain practitioner and an entrepreneur?
Yeah, so I think I feel that I always keep a curious mind to explore
Mm-hmm.
emerging techs and innovation. And
Mm-hmm.
back in my early days of consulting, I've been keeping an eye in terms of where are the new emerging areas are growing up. And sometime in 2015, 16, I first landed with an interaction on Bitcoin network. And since then, this crazy technology has been always keeping my attention. I've been seeing that, how this innovative technology is creating a transaction that can run in a trustless manner, and which is quite fascinating to me. So since then, I've been, reading about it. I've also run, I would say, a meetup group where we were talking about blockchain and the innovation that this technology brings in. And since then, I actually started
Mm-hmm.
focusing more on blockchain as the area for my, I would say, professional growth as well. And in sometime in 2019, 2020, I had a small instinct of co-founding my own startup along with few friends. And sometime in 2021, I joined Polygon. And since last 3 years, there have been different areas that I've been working across. And now is the time where I'm focusing on Polygon ID. So still early days. I feel that, these are the days when we have been seeing, if we compare this back in the internet days, I think we are in the transition mode from dial-up to broadband. And, I feel very exciting when I talk about this innovative technology and the kind of opportunity that we are going to be delivering with this tech.
Mm-hmm. And sir, where are you operating from and where is the headquarters? Polygon
I
Labs?
mean, we work with in a very decentralized manner. The team
Oh.
is spread across many countries. I would
Hmm.
say that there are not many offices as well, and everybody's given a flexibility in terms of either working from home or from a co-working space. And there are small offices across the globe, but then majority of the people are flexible in terms of working. So I would say we are totally decentralized, and the people have a lot of flexibility in terms of their operating.
Yeah, that is the need of the hour, I guess, because we need a lot of resources from across the country, across the globe, and it's easy. Can you tell us some of the key features and benefits of Polygon ID that sets it apart from other identity management solutions?
Certainly. I think there are quite a few innovative things that we have been focusing on, and this is the reason why the identity protocol that has been created scratch up. I think there are with certain intentions in mind. So I think at the moment, if we wanted to pick up some of the key features which are differentiating, I would say generation of a zero knowledge proof right from the user wallet is a big deal. I think this is where we ensure that user privacy is intact, and
Hmm.
this kind of proof can be used in a very simple manner, either for an off-chain verification or an on-chain verification. So this way, what we are bringing is also an automated way where a smart contract can read this proof, and they can provide whatever service the downstream process would demand.
Hmm.
Similarly, on-chain issuance is another interesting one where we talk about how credential can be issued in an by a smart contract in an automated way. Additionally, we feel that it's not just about the tech, but there has to be also an economics that needs to be brought in for
Hmm.
all the stakeholders within the ecosystem, including issuers and verifiers, so that they can also build in their own business model and gain incentive. And this is where we are, very interestingly building some of the component that would be adding this kind of economics into the overall solution landscape.
Hmm.
So, with Polygon ID, we feel that we are certainly providing more privacy-focused solution, more user-centric approach in terms
Hmm.
of creating a differentiator and a better user experience compared to the traditional identity solutions.
Yeah. Hmm. Sounds really interesting and something that sets you apart from other identity management solutions.
Yes, and we are
Sir,
delighted for it.
could you share some insights on the type of industries or sectors you are seeing traction in and how your solutions are tailored to meet their specific needs?
Certainly, yeah. I think,
Hmm.
personally, what I feel is that identity is going to be a layer across all the industry verticals and business
Hmm.
processes, right? So,
Hmm.
for every other industry, they need to authenticate user, verify users,
Correct.
and enable users for different types of services, right? And
Hmm.
some of the areas that we are seeing the traction in the early days, including the financial institutions and applications, where they are talking about some of the most explored use cases like reusability of a KYC. And it may not be just the reusability of the KYC, but there can be certain attributes of the KYC that can also be utilized in some shape or form that can enable other set of use cases. For example, my KYC can hold several number of data points, but can I extract just date of birth out of that
Hmm.
KYC, enable certain age-related use cases, whether it is access to a social media website or to a gaming
Ah.
website or any kind of digital interaction. Similarly, maybe a gender, maybe a residency. I think these are attributes that we can take out from the overall KYC of a user, and that can be again very simplified user experience and use cases that can be helped across. So we have seen large
Hmm.
interest that is coming out from financial institutions and various Web3 applications in the form of reusable KYC. HSBC is one of the example that is out in the public, leveraging Polygon ID. Then I feel that portable user reputation is another very interesting area that is growing up and picking up quite fast. So where
Hmm.
you are talking about a user, there can be different personas for this user. You can have developer as a persona, you have a gamer, you can be a lender, borrower, even a validator for a chain. All of these different personas, they would need some kind of a reputation in order to showcase their past performance or maybe the type of interactions that they are doing. And this user reputation, we feel that it's going to be very, very interesting way of analyzing the user and giving them more personalized services. And the engagement model can very innovatively created out of this kind of a user reputation. So that's an interesting one where we feel that even combining some of the on-chain Web3 data with the user
Mm.
Web2 data might even give a 360-degree spin of the user reputation. Some other verticals, maybe including, let's say, ticketing system. So
Mm.
ticketing system adopting this kind of solution in order to prevent fraud. So if a
Wow.
ticket has been issued for certain
Mm.
scenarios where the user verification is important, so today if I'm booking that ticket as Ravi Agrawal, I should be the person who should be able to enter that particular place, depending upon the type of events. Certainly, so I should not be able to book a ticket with the name
Mm.
Will Smith and just
Mm.
go for a particular event, right? So those kind of fraud preventions can be done right at the time of issuance of tickets, and there are innovative solutions that are coming up with some of the projects who are trying to integrate Polygon ID, and they are leveraging this kind of fraud prevention mechanism with the help of identity solution, and also at the time of let's say entries, in case if the users are reaching to a particular event, they can
Mm.
showcase that they have attended those events in live, and those kind of credential again help to the my second point, which is the user reputation, right? So if I've
Mm.
attended 3 events in a row for a particular organizer, that builds my reputation with that organizer, and maybe eventually for the
Right.
fourth event or the fifth event, I may be getting a preferential treatment or maybe 10% discount on my ticket,
This.
right? So
Mm.
that's on the
Yes.
ticketing side. E-governance, citizen services, I think that's another area where we feel that there can be a lot of innovative things that can be done, whether it is adding a layer of reusable credential based upon
Mm.
the underlying government credentials. So you can think about a citizen pass, or you can think about a nomad visa and so on. I think those are again very different use cases that can be created for better governance and citizen services. Last but not the least is again in the, let's say, emerging areas like central bank digital currency, CBDCs.
Mm.
I think
Cities.
they are
Mm.
also good vertical where identity solution can actually enable CBDCs in a much impactful manner. And combining this with the programmable assets can open up really a new set of opportunities for innovation.
Yeah. Sounds really interesting. The use cases are really very interesting to think on. So, moving ahead, what do you think? What are your aspirations for Polygon ID, and what are the broader blockchain identity management industry? What do you think? Where it will go? How big it will grow in coming next 5 to 10 years?
5 to 10 years seems to be a lot of time, but then I think looking
Yeah,
it
with the
from a
growth in
perspective that
technology. Mm.
we are leaps and bounds, we are growing in our digital life, right? I think
Correct. Yeah, right.
there are certain stats that say that each individual is roughly holding around 120 accounts digitally, right? So this
Mm.
is a report
Right.
that is talking about the US basis from the US citizens, but then I think this is applicable to more or less few numbers here and there for majority of us when we are talking about doing things on the web. So
Correct.
if that is the level of digital life that all of us have today, imagine the life expanding into next 5 to 10 years
five
where
to ten
it's
years.
only going to go up, right? And
Correct.
the amount of interaction, the kind of activities that we are going to be doing online are going to be going up exponential. And that's where we feel very excited because that gives an opportunity where digital identity is going to be
Mm.
becoming a gatekeeper for many of
Yes.
those interactions that we do online digitally, right? So this is where there is a good opportunity for widespread adoption.
Mm.
Personally, there are few areas that we feel that is going to be making quite an important uh, inroads for an
Mm.
identity solution to get adopted. First of all, which is interoperability. And by interoperability, what I mean is a seamless integration and compatibility between the other blockchain networks, right? So if a user is gaining certain reputation by
Mm.
interacting on a one particular chain, can he be able to also showcase those interactions when he's interacting on other chain? Or maybe
Correct.
consider that if he is participating in airdrop on one
Mm.
particular chain, and
Hmm.
created a proof, something like proof of uniqueness or proof of humanity, will he be able to take these credentials onto another chain, and he don't have to really get those credentials again to participate in airdrop on chain 2? So I think those
Hmm.
kind of interoperability of the data and the assets where the user can prove those credentials across the chains, and similarly in the Web2 world as well. So I think enhanced interoperability is something that
Hmm.
we feel would be taking good adoption in the coming year. Feel that privacy protection is also going to be an important component that people would be educated and aware in the
Hmm.
next few
Hmm.
years, right? I think
Yeah.
privacy has not been one of the key concerns that we see at the moment with various users, but we understand that it's going to grow from here in the next few years, where users' privacy would be more of their concern, and the way we leverage zero knowledge technology is going to be helping them in terms of ensuring that the transactions that they are doing are going to be more private. And this at the same time would reduce the liability, the data liability for many verifiers, where they really don't want it to, store that unwanted data and be
Hmm.
liable for the data protection act like the GDPR, or the one that we have in India is in the form of PDP.
Hmm.
And another one that I can think of is the financial inclusion. I think there is still a large set of global population which are not able to avail these services. And with this, with the different form of digital identity, either basis the government ID or with some kind of a biometric that an individual can gain, there can be certain level of financial inclusion that can be brought in, and
Hmm.
this can be done with the help of a digital identity solution. But my personal favorite is where we are talking about how identity would become also a core component for any kind of innovative tech or the emerging tech that may come in the future, whether it is building up an AI stack, or this is building an autonomous vehicle, or maybe we are talking about an IoT based devices. I think
Hmm.
all of these components and the emerging areas would have some element of identity, either for verification of certain aspect, or maybe providing a better engaging services to the user, or maybe
Hmm.
otherwise for reputation building.
Correct.
Sorry for the long answer there.
No, sir, our students need this kind of explanation. Thank you so much for explaining in such a beautiful manner. And are there any projects or initiatives that you are really excited about?
Yeah, I think there are a couple of them in the current scenario, and
Hmm.
personally, I feel very excited because, let's say, if I wanted to talk about where are the trends going, and we all
Hmm.
see that at the moment there are a lot of applications both in Web2 and Web3 world where we are struggling to eliminate bots, right? So
Correct.
this is one area where I feel that can there be a solution where we can easily eliminate bots, and this is where we are working with something called as a proof of humanity, which can help eliminate the bots. So bots are good in certain use cases where there needs to be
Hmm.
certain, I would say, early testing, or there needs to be some kind of a validation of the hypothesis that needs to be done. So they are good for certain use cases. But I feel that when we are talking about bringing more humans to Web3, we need to eliminate bots. And this is where I feel that solution like proof of humanity can help into various application. Another one that is exciting to me is the proof of uniqueness. And we have
Hmm.
been seeing a lot of traction around proof of uniqueness, where we are seeing that wherever there is a reward distribution, people tend to corner as much as possible for their own benefits, right? And that's a human
Hmm.
nature, and we have to deal
Correct.
with it. However, when we are talking about an fair distribution of rewards, there has to be more unique users that we have to bring into the ecosystem, right? So I take an example of airdrops.
Hmm.
There have been, some scenario where I learned that a user was holding 18,000 wallets and participating in an airdrop. So one single user going with 18,000 wallet, cornering a major share of the airdrop, right? So if that kind of a squeeze model exists for the reward
Hmm.
distribution, it's not going to be helping the rest of the participant, neither it's
Correct.
going to be helping the company, right? So something like in the form of proof of uniqueness that we have built
Hmm.
is where we believe that it's going to be very helpful in terms of creating a fair distribution model, and we can have more return on investment when we are bringing more real users who might be rewarded with those benefits, but at the same time, they become the users who can participate in the downstream application. So I think those are the two that I feel excited about.
Sir, if someone has a doubt, question regarding our session, how can they reach out to you? How can they participate in the project if you have any? So do let us know, sir. How?
Oh, sure. I think there are a lot of public material that is available. So, in terms of knowing a little bit more about Polygon ID, the easiest way to go is on the website. So you can navigate it from polygon.technology/Polygon ID, or you can directly go to polygonid.com. For the developers, if they wanted to learn and try it out, you have the developer documentation available right on the polygonid.com, or you can just use devs.polygonid.com. Additionally, you can follow on Twitter. There is a Polygon ID handle, similarly on LinkedIn and many other channels. But if you have any additional questions, I'm happy to take them up. I'm easy to reach on Twitter. My handle is Ravikant Agrawal. Same on LinkedIn as well. And if somebody wanted to drop a note on email, my email ID is also ravi@polygon.technology.
Before we wrap up, sir, is there anything that you would like to share with our budding entrepreneurs? Perhaps a final thought, piece of advice.
Okay, certainly. Yeah, I think I feel that for builders, the most important thing is stay adaptable, follow continuous learning. Don't I would say feel scared when you fail. So fail fast, but then evolve again strong, and ensure that you're solving some real problem that is more sustainable, and it should not be just a me too kind of an application. And from a user perspective, I would say that we should all try and live Web3 and not just learn Web3. We should try
Hmm.
to put our hands down, experiment with some of the applications out there, maybe do a transaction on DeFi application, buy an NFT, play a Web3 game, just learn in terms of how this technology is evolving and experience the innovation.
Hmm. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for guiding our student, for telling them what should be done. Now, I would like to invite our audience to join all the channels, all our social media channels through the QR code that I am going to showcase in the screen. Also, I would share all the links that Mr. Ravikant sir has shared with you. In the screen, you can see a QR code. Simply scan, and you will be taken to that, redirected to that websites and social media accounts. Thank you so much, sir. It's been a pleasure having you in the session. We hope everyone enjoyed the session. It was very insightful and informative. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much, sir, once again.
Thank you for having me.